Hi all, this is Nidhi here. So today's topic is determinants of demand. Determinants means the factors that affect demand. The demand for any commodity depends upon the large variety of factors. Demand either increases or decreases due to several factors. Now suppose when you purchase a t-shirt, there are many things that influence you or affect your demand, like price of the shirt, your taste, whether you want to spend that money on that t-shirt, and so on. Now the factors which influence the decision of a household to purchase a commodity is known as the determinants of demand. Now the first and foremost factor which affect the individual demand, I am talking here about the individual demand, the factors which affect them. First factor is the price of the commodity. You might have observed that when the price of any commodity falls down, you tend to buy more of it. That means your demand increases that time. And when the price rises, you demand less quantity. That means you buy less of it. So what you can see here is that there is an inverse relationship between the price of the commodity and its quantity demanded. So first factor is clear. Second factor is the income of the consumer. Now change in the consumer income also affects the demand for a commodity. Why? Because it determines the purchasing power of the consumer. Now there is a direct relationship between the income of the consumer and his demand for a commodity. How? There are two goods that consumer can afford, inferior good or superior good. So suppose you want to purchase a t-shirt and you have two options. Either you can buy from the footpath or you can buy from the showroom. So your decision depends upon the income. With high level of income, you will go to the showroom to buy a t-shirt. So that is your normal goods. With low level of income, you will go to the footpath to buy that t-shirt. This is your inferior good. Clear? Now another example, if I place like BDs or cigarettes. Suppose consumer want to buy BD or cigarette. With low level of income, consumer can afford to buy BDs. This is your inferior good. And with high level of income, consumer can buy the cigarettes. So this is your normal goods. Now consumer can switch from inferior good to superior good if the income increases. Now let us discuss the normal goods and the inferior goods. Now normal goods are those goods whose demand increases with increase in income. Now see, I am denoting Y as an income. Clear? When your income increases, what you do? Suppose you are a consumer and when your income increases, obviously you tend to buy more of a good. You demand for more of the commodity, so your demand increases. And when you have the less income, you demand for the less commodity. That means your demand decreases. That means here you can see the direct relationship. Clear? Inferior good. Inferior good are those goods whose demand decreases with increase in income. Suppose your income increases. Now what you do? When your income increases, will you buy BDs? Will you buy t-shirt from the footpath? No. Why? Because your income increases. Now you can afford to buy from the showroom. So your demand decreases for the inferior good. When your income increases, your demand decreases for the inferior good. That is the cheaper goods. And when your income falls down, your demand increases for the inferior good. When your income is low, you will demand for the cheaper goods only. So your demand that time increases. So what you can see here is that there is an inverse relationship. I hope I am clear up to this. Third point is the price of related goods. Now, when you go to the market to buy a commodity, so what you do? You buy that commodity, but also demand is affected by the related goods also. There are two types of goods: substitute goods and complementary goods. Now what is substitute goods? Substitute goods are those goods which satisfy the same type of need and hence can be used in place of one another. Like suppose for example, tea and coffee. Tea and coffee. Is it clear? Suppose the price of coffee rises. Will you buy more coffee when the price is high? No. You will buy tea that time. So demand for tea increases because that time price is high. So you will just demand for tea. That means you will demand for the substitute goods. Clear? And when the price is less, when the price is low for the coffee, you demand for tea will also decreases. Why? Now coffee is relatively cheaper, so now you can buy coffee because price of the coffee falls down, and now you can buy the coffee comparatively to tea. Is it clear? So what you can see is that direct relation. Complementary goods. Complementary goods are those goods which can be jointly used or consumed together to satisfy a want. Now complementary goods are demanded together. Say car and petrol, pen and ink, Coke and Pepsi. Suppose the price of petrol rises, your demand for car also falls down. Why? Because they are jointly used. When the price is high for the petrol, you will not demand for the car that time. Your demand will decrease. And when the price of petrol falls down, your demand for car increases that time. Because they are jointly used and they are comparatively cheaper. So they can be consumed or they can be used together. So when the price of petrol falls down, demand for car rises. That means there is an inverse relationship between the goods. Clear? Complementary good. Now, fourth point is taste and preference. Taste and preferences also affect the demand for a commodity by its buyer. They include change in fashion, customs, habits, many things. So, consumer demand those commodities which are in fashion. Suppose, suppose I'm giving example. Your taste for the Cadbury's. Your taste is very high for the Cadbury, so you demand more of it. And when the taste is very low, like you demand no more for that taste. You demand no more for that Cadbury, so your demand will be less. So the commodities which are in fashion, they will be demanded more, and commodities which are in out of fashion, they will demand less. So it is just based on the taste and preferences of the consumer, because this also affects the demand. Fifth point is expectations of change in price in future. Expectations of change in price in future means what? It also affects the demand. How? Suppose when the consumer expects that there will be a rise in the price in near future. Suppose there will be a rise in the price of a rise in the price of a rice, you say, because it is used necessary things and it is used daily. So suppose there is a rise in the price of a rice. So what you will do? It is in the future and your demand is in the current. When the consumer expects that there is a rise in the price of any commodity, consumers start hoarding that commodity in a larger quantity at present. Clear? I am giving you more examples. Suppose you expect that there is a rise in the price of dal, you say. Dal, what you consume daily. So there will be a rise in the price of dal. So what you do? You will start holding that commodity in a larger quantity. Today means in your current, your demand will increase. And now you think that in near future, the demand for the dal will be decreasing. So you will hold yourself and will demand less in the current situation. So that means there is a direct relationship. You can see that you just remember that this is a current demand and this is a future price. When you expect that there will be a rise in the price in future, you demand more at current situation. And when the price will fall down, you expect that there will be a fall in the price in near future, you demand for now less. Clear? So this is the individual demand that affects determinants of demand for the individual. Now, all things will come under the market demand also, that influences the market demand. There are the factors which influences the market demand as well. Now, what are the factors influences the market demand? I'm writing in the short. Please just have my book. Have a look in my book. You will get everything. Market demand. The factors that influence the market demand is number one, number of buyers in the market. That is the population. Number of buyers in the market. That is the size of the population. So, larger the population means larger the population, larger will be the market demand. This is the population. Okay. So, as the population increases, it raises the market demand. And decrease in the population reduces the market demand. So, obviously, when the population is more, demand will also more, because there are more consumers in the market, they will demand more. And if the population is less, demand will be also less. Not only the population affects the demand, but there is a composition of population also affects the demand. Now, what is composition? Composition refers to here the old age people, teenagers, adults, males, females. So, composition of population also affects the demand, because the types of goods that are demanded by different people are different. Clear? Suppose if I give you the example, like in one country, the population of women is more. Population of women is increasing or more. So, the type of demanded by the woman is like sari, lipsticks. So, this type of demand will be more. So, this also affects the demand. Now, second point is season and weather. Season and weather. Now, this is generally observed that the demand for woolen clothes increases during winter time. Is not it? Demand for the woolen clothes. Suppose there is a season of jackets or t-shirt. Suppose there is a season of t-shirt. So, when there is a season of t-shirt, so demand will also increase in that time, because it is a hot day. So, when there is a season of the hot summer time, the demand for the t-shirt will also increase. And when there is no hot day, so the demand will also not there for the t-shirt. Suppose the market demand for the umbrellas. Suppose there is no demand for the umbrellas. That time demand will also fall down. So what you see is that woolen clothes in the winter season is increasing, and demand for ice creams, cold drinks increases during summer. So market demands also for umbrella, raincoats increases during rainy season. So when there is a season, demand will also be there, and when there is no season, demand will also not there. So this is season and weather. Now third point is I hope this is clear to you all. So I am rubbing this. Third point is very important. That is the third point is the distribution of income. Distribution of income. This is very important. Many times there is a confusion in this, so please have a look. So income is generally classified equal and unequal. Equal and unequal. So just you see that here is what is that? If income is distributed equally, what happens? If income is distributed equally, then there will be a more market demand for goods. Why? Because all are earning the same income. There is no the more rich, more poor. Income is equally distributed among themselves, so there will be more market demand. But if income is not equally distributed, then what will happen? Then market demand will fall down. Why? Because there are either the people are very rich or very poor. So what happens in that situation? There is a scattered demand and demands fall down. This is the market demand, determinants of the market demand. If in exam it comes determinants of demand, so just write all those things which I have discussed. And if it comes only write determinants of individual demand. 5 points you have to write. And if they say factors affecting market demand, so this you include, and this also you will write it. Clear? I hope I am clear. And if any queries you have, just write it on the comment section so that I can make you clear about it. And this is my book where every topic, everything which I have discussed here is written in this book. So this is the essence of microeconomics, which is available in Amazon and Flipkart. Thank you.